Well, how's it going today, folks? I'm Braap and welcome back to the Braap Shack. If you've seen the last little short video I uploaded, you'll know that the 700 twin is definitely pooched. And I've been looking at a couple things, and I think the best course of action here is not to do an engine swap, but to just take this whole front end off of this 700 and put it on the 400. And I'm about to show you why. So let's take a quick look. So here's the 700. I showed in the short little video clip that the crank is bent. So that's what's wrong with this. A couple of the reasons why I think we're better off to not do an engine swap, and now it can be done. I'm not saying it can't be done. It's just it's quite a bit of work, because we might be able to, but it would be a trial and error thing to just swap the engines, because this 700, as you can see down here, here's a drive shaft coming from the transmission with the secondary clutch on the other side. The secondary clutch is right there. Here's the little transmission. Drive shaft out to the rear diff. Well, the 400 doesn't use a transmission, drive shaft, and rear diff. It uses a rear transaxle. So the diff all the way out to the secondary clutch is all one big unit, a big transaxle. So we most likely could pull out this 700 and just marry the 400 to this setup here. We would probably have to invent some bracketry and do some math to make sure that the clutches are the same distance apart and whatnot. Or we would have to take out the transmission, take out the rear diff, and try and fit that transaxle in here, in which case this would have to go. These braces here, one on this side, one on the other side. We'd probably have to cut the bracing and possibly the mounting off of the other frame and put it on this frame right here, because this has a transmission and not a full transaxle. There's this brace here comes down, that would have to go, because the transaxle would take up all of this space. So that weighs quite a bit of work. Changing just the engine would be a trial and error invention type deal, where we would so either way there's quite a bit of fab, I do think, to change the engine, or the engine and the transaxle. The other thing I've found down here, the frame there, yeah, you can see it. Frame's actually cracked right here, which isn't a big deal. We could fix that, but that's just more fab work, you know, or more welding, and we would have to probably fish plate that or something. So the other option is on the other frame. The only frame damage is this perch. All the rest of it is this subframe that unbolts right here, comes all the way down and around to down there. All of that's damaged, but the frame itself isn't, other than this perch. Now looking at it, this perch comes across, it's one piece from there all the way to the other perch, and they're welded onto the frame right there. Little bead of weld down that side, And then same thing on the front and back. So I think the easiest thing to do would be strip this front end off, cut that cross member shock tower perch right off, rather than just doing one side and having to fish plate it and fucking, you know, all that jazz. I think it would be best to leave it as one unit, and then like I said, it's just 2 welds there, 2 welds there, 2 there, 2 there. That's 8 little welds you cut. Whole dude comes off, zap it onto the other machine, and then just reassemble the front end, and that's it. You're done. Fucking finished. So I think that's the best course of action. And I mean, I don't see it being any faster to try and change out the engine or the engine and the transaxle. Like this is just a few hours to change out the front end, and then like I said, there's bits we don't even know whether it's gonna work or not, changing the engine and transaxle. Now I'll take you outside here and we'll take a look. See, we got the engine, and there's the secondary, comes across to right here. On the other machine is just a transmission, but on this one, you see, transmission is just right directly connected all the way back to the rear diff. See, so there's the bracketry for the transaxle. That downswept brace isn't here. The side braces aren't even here. So I think if we just lop off that weld right there, like there's no other damage, nothing else is bent. Like even down there, yeah, I don't see any reason why we can't swap the front end. I think would be the best course of action. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with that. So that's enough yapping. I'm just gonna start disassembling the front end. I'll set you up over here in the corner, and you can peep onto that. Damn it, where are my America sizes? Okay. So, looks to me like we got a nut and bolt either side on top. And 1, 2, 6 bolts down at the bottom. And I think we're free. Oh, I forgot a rad hose. Son of a bitch. Oh, I could just reach a pair of pliers. Lucky, lucky. One little tiny rad hose going to the degas. Or the evap. Whatever the fuck you want to call it. And there we go. We have the entire front clip, radiator fan, an entire front unit. Pull off the rest of the plastics because the plastics are all going to go on the other machine. What now? Oh yeah, just fucking one that you can't get, eh? Just always. So then, I had a fucking 17mm here somewhere. And it fucking runned away. How dare it? Oh, it's back to that bullshit. Fucking little bit of America, a little bit of Canada. No, it's certain parts of this thing are, they got metric fucking bolts and I don't know why. You hooker. Just about get everything off of here. Get the steering post off there. Steering stem with bearing. Now there's a clamp and two bushings that fell down. You don't want that. There's a clamp, half the bushing. Where's the other half? God damn it. I bet you it fell right in this bucket of fucking coolant. You know, there's nowhere else in the world that could have landed. It had to land right in that fucking bucket of coolant. But, that's okay. I think these axles are a little different. I don't know if we're gonna be able to use them on the other machine. Might still have to just buy some half axles for that 400. I don't think these are gonna work. The other ones had pins and a bunch of other shit to hold them together. There we go. There's the front fucking corner that we need. But these axles are definitely different. So I don't think we're going to be able to use that axle unless, oh, we might actually. We might be able to split that U-joint and put that stub end in there. Okay, so there's what needs to go on the other machine. Front corner, steering post, all the fucking plastics. We may need to yard that axle out and swap the yoke as well. But other than that, that's it. That's all we need. Oh, gonna have to cut this support off and get some wires out of the way. Right now, my camera's about to die, and I want to go have a coffee. So, yeah, I'll flip this back on after. But for right now, I'd say it's pretty good progress. About an hour, a little over an hour-ish, something like that. I don't know. I've checked the timer, but I think probably a little over an hour, and we just fucking stripped this quad and it's ready. Pretty much just that guy, I guess. So take it outside and we'll do the same thing. Lop off the A-arms, that shock. That way it can just sit on blocks. Don't got to move it around with nothing on the front, right? So that's why I'm not taking the perch off now, because right now we could still kind of move it around, you know, grab it by this corner and push, and we can still move it around. That front clip came off real nice. I like how she just fucking stayed intact, you know what I mean? So that was cool. But yeah, I'll flip this back on in a bit. Camera's about to die, so